Everybody is used to the conveniences of modern day life. You wake up in the morning, you flip on your switch, you pick up your phone, you've got Wi-Fi or cell signal, you go to the fridge, you open it up and it's cold. As soon as the storm hits, some of those conveniences are taken away.
Wind is our life. The weather is our life. So when there's a storm, weather's coming, he's gone. We know it's coming.
It's hard to explain. I don't know. I feel like it adds more purpose to what you're doing. I can't have just a desk job where I'm typing away at numbers. Every day we're going out there and we're either bettering the electrical system for the community, or when people really recognize us out there working on a storm, you know that you're turning somebody's power back on.
I don't want to say it's a thankless job, but it's hard work, especially in the area that we work in, the Buffalo, New York. Ultimately, I think a lot of that falls into actually caring about the people that you're restoring, caring about the people you work with. So you got to have the right mindset.
I think that Ray thrives on having a lot on his plate. He likes dangerous jobs. He likes tough jobs. He likes pushing himself. He's a different breed.
I grew up in Cheektowaga, New York. My mom was a nurse. My dad was a social worker. So both were serving the community and doing things like that, serving other people. When it came to time for college, they provided what they could for it, but they were only able to provide so much. So I had to find another outlet, which is kind of where I looked to when I joined the military. This was young Ray.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
2001 for 1999 for this one. 2001 for that one.
That's funny.
Some of the fuel tankers we work with. This was us in Egypt. I don't know, there's been so many names in 23 years. You try to remember them all, but you meet new ones, you forget old ones. Basic training. Where was I? Right there.
Yeah.
One whole big platoon. National Grid's a lot like the military, where in order to make it through, you have to listen, you have to follow direction, you have to operate by the rules, otherwise things can go wrong, just like in combat or in training. You're not just here for a paycheck. People don't always realize, just like the police and fire, we're one of the first ones on the scene. Drive-bys, dead bodies, car accidents, things like that, you come across it all. Some of the people you serve with for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You get into a storm situation where you're working 17-hour days. You go home, you shower, you go to bed, you wake up 3 hours later, you shower, you go to work, and you might not have even seen or kissed your family members during that time. You're on the truck and you're spending another 17 hours with your coworker. It's a special relationship that you're not going to find in a lot of other companies.
I knew I wanted to do a job that gave back to the community. I mean, every time you flip the lights on, you can think of a lineman. It's dangerous stuff we deal with, but it could be very, very safe if you're paying attention to what you're doing. So for us working, if somebody's going up in the air and you're on the ground, you're his second pair of eyes. He might not see something that you do, or if he's up in the air, communication, talking to each other, like, hey, something's coming down, something's going up, like, all that attention to detail stuff is absolutely important and imperative for this job. And that's one of the things I think the military taught me very, very well.
Ray's crew and Ray's guys are the rock stars. Whether it's 100 degrees and they're wearing the rubber sleeves, working on the lines, or it's winding and raining sideways, they don't complain.
On April 1st, I switched over to being an overhead instructor for upstate New York. I teach what I used to once do out in the field. It's not natural for a human being to climb vertically up a piece of wood, but being able to put the equipment on myself and show them that it can be done, I think is helpful. And And from day one, they might be a little bit shaky or nervous, but as they go, they become a lot more comfortable and familiar with what they're doing.
When crews show up on the job, sometimes we can come off as dismissive, or we might be focused on something. Just know that a lot of those times our minds are looking at how do we make this area safe so that you're not in any danger. You know, the linemen are out there working hard to get you back in power, and we do everything we can to do it as quickly as possible.
Being compassionate is important. We're going through the same things you are. We're doing everything we can to get you back into power, because when we get you back in, we get our husbands, our wives, our parents, our family members, and friends back into power as well.
I feel happy that he's home when it's over, but when it's like thunder or lightning, I don't like him out there.
During storms, I don't really worry because I know he knows what he's doing.
When people ask me, how do you do it with Ray all the time? He's always gone. When's he retiring, or when's he working the next storm? I just remember that things that matter are hard, and if you're willing to put in time and faith,